Hey, first of all, I'd like to thank you for getting ready to watch an episode of The Best Coach. Enjoy. Yeah, I'd like to welcome you guys to the 9th episode in season number 1 of The Best Coach. Now, this is going to get better as we go forward. I am open to entertaining questions, so if somebody sends me a question, I will do the best that I can to absolutely answer it. That is a fact. So I will be excited about any kind of back and forth or conversation that we can have. My objective again is to improve the lives of the young student athletes so that they can have a stepping stone or a border that they can use, springboard to jump off of to dive into success. And one of the things you need to know again when it comes to being successful, and this is what I want for you, you need to understand the biggest thing on earth outside of God and outside of money, and this one actually may be before money. It might just be, but it's racism. What is racism? I hope we don't have to go that deep. I don't know if we have to explain what it is, but it's like a balled up knuckle. It's like arthritis, diabetes, cancer. It's a segregation machine, a divider, something that's used to box out, downplay, outcast. We're talking about racism. It's a built-in the words of my cousin Chris, it's a perpetual form of hatred. A automatic disrespect for somebody else. That's what racism is. Racism is a money institution designed to make a certain bracket filled up with successful people, depending on this slash that has been created, this divot in the world, this divider amongst people. Fortunately or either unfortunately, depending on what side of the coin you're on, only a few people are the beneficiaries of this form of racism. The masses is a victim regardless to whether they think they are prospering or not. So I would tell student athletes, listen, be aware of a form of racism. It's in sports. It's in life. Now the question becomes, if you want to come to my office, and here's a scenario. If you say, hey, coach, I was out at this event, and at the event, some people that were older than myself was basically treating me in a second or third class citizen type status because of my hairstyle, because of the clothes that I was wearing, and possibly the complexion of my skin. But I didn't feel comfortable in this environment. And as a matter of fact, I was treated somewhat disrespectfully. It's very possible that you are a victim of racism. Now watch out, when it comes to racism, nobody's ever going to admit it. because nobody has ever done it before. There's never been a racist person before. Ask. You're not going to get it. So, racism is something that's made up in the mind of certain people. So it's said. But anyway, we can sit down and talk about it until both of our faces turn blue. Figuring out the next step on how to handle it, because it is a perpetual motion that will be here. It's in the elementaries, it's in the middle school, it's in the high school, it's in the colleges, it's in the outer schools, it's in the cities, it's in the country, it's anywhere. It's in the penitentiary systems. It's everywhere. So, that is what that is. We can dive into that more if you want to, in more details and whatnot. But right now, I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to try to make this as positive as I can make it. And it's time to go into the X's and O's of football. Now I get to be a coach and talk about football and football only. This particular time I want to talk about the left wide receiver. The left wide receiver is on the left side of the formation. Now I got a different system, a different name for him. I'll share that with you as we get close. But the left side wide receiver is usually on what we call the backside. And on the backside, you need to be able to cut off the cornerbacks or whatnot to be able to block in the run game. See if you can scrape off to the safety. If you can cut him off, that would be great. Wide receiver on the left side of the formation, I like to think is very responsible, is positive and responsible for quick slants and running crossing routes, bringing himself to the quarterback. Also, what can be done very easily, if this is something that could be implemented by a wide receiver, whether he is short, tall, fast, or whatever, slow, crafty, and has excellent hands or somewhat good hands, running a go route. And that's the ball to snap, and even a right-hand quarterback just takes a 3-step drop or 5-step drop or whatever we're doing and letting that bad boy fly. Letting it fly down that left sideline. And that wide receiver with a skill set should be able to stack the defender, run fast enough to get on top of him, line up in front of him, and prevent him from getting in front of you and cutting you off, and do not allow him to run stride for stride with you. If throwing a vertical ball to the wide receiver on the left side is challenging, then there's the back shoulder throw, which is still a vertical, or either a deep comeback. Zigzag routes are also successful when you have a zigzag route that runs possibly in and then back out. Having a point where you want to throw it helps out. Also, one of the best things, in my opinion, per se, about the backside wide receiver is running a post route. And a post route means he comes across the face of the quarterback eventually. So, with the offense being heavily designed to run to the right side, a lot of quarterbacks are right-handed. That means that the front side of the offense is on the right side. So this left side wide receiver is very important. He has to be a selfless individual and understand that on this side, you got to do big boy stuff. The left side wide receiver is critical in any formation, any play, because of the attention that needs to be drawn. If that left side wide receiver is a bomb, is a phenom, if he is a phenom, he may require double coverage. And if he requires double coverage, that means the corner is impressed possibly, and the strong safety might be over the top. Both of these defenders are dedicated to that receiver because of his phenomenal ability. That's how deadly a wide receiver can be on the left side. And I would do that on purpose. It would be fantastic to have two. If I only had one phenom wide receiver, I probably would want to put him on my left side. Because I would want my quarterback to be able to see guys that may not be as talented, as skilled on that side. I want two guys to come over to help out with this guy. So that means we have space, one-on-one coverage possibly on the front side, which is easier for my right-hand quarterback. Now, if my quarterback is left-handed, then again, that left side wide receiver now becomes the main wide receiver. So what are you saying? If I have that receiver, do I flip him to the other side? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But a lot of defenses are designed to have their cornerbacks and stuff focus on the right-hand quarterback. So will they come out this particular week playing against us if we have a left-hand quarterback out there and change everything up? I doubt it. So sticking that wide receiver on the left side still would be sufficient. That's what I believe. And if they do switch to defense, which means they got some phenom guy that's playing corner, then we just flop our receivers. No problem at all. Unless we just got dogs all the way across the board. I ain't going to do it. If we got dogs across the board, then it doesn't matter. We can just stick it down their throat no matter what, who they got out there. We can just do it anyway. But this is what is this? Episode 9, I think. Episode 9 of The Best Coach. I love you guys. Stay strong, as powerful as much as you can. Much respect. Tell somebody something good. Love y'all.
That's all, Coach.
This shot the shout of Maurice, man, my brother, man. You know what I'm saying?